Welcome to Pure Genuine Podcast, where we dive into authentic experiences like never before. I'm your host, Frenchie Hanna, and today I have MJ Jameson. Hey, thank you for coming on to this podcast.
Thank you so much, Frenchie. Thank you so much for having me, babe. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, you're so welcome. Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, babe, where to even begin? It was just so nice to be with you and all of our community at the Trans Day of Visibility at the center down in downtown Las Vegas, where we came together in spite of the current moment of darkness in our politics and the public, who some of them a little more emboldened to tell us, maybe in the parking lot or in the grocery store, how they feel about us. And so it's just a little difficult moment for the community. So it was beautiful to have everyone come together, and I was honored to be a host and of the award ceremony. That was so beautiful to honor many of the heroes in our community, and so staying active within the community, helping reopen our trans closet program down at the center. Is just around the corner. We've just got the remodel done. It's looking beautiful. So staying active within our community is obviously one of my biggest priorities. But then, not more than that, but aside from that, my day job, I'm so lucky to do what I love. I own and operate with our family Tree of Life dispensaries, which I know so many of us are familiar with in the community, because we give our profits. Excuse me, tripping over my words. We give all of our family's profits back to local Nevada charities, including the center.
So dive into a little bit of Tree of Life. What is that exactly?
Absolutely, yeah. So we sell weed, and we're so blessed.
Oh, you're in the cannabis industry.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Yes, I know that.
I know you know
but
that,
they don't
my
know
girl.
that.
I know you know that. We may have shared a couple things together. Yes. No. I always love a doobie with Frenchie. I don't even feel. I feel like Frenchie sounds like. I feel like Frenchie is a good word for a doobie. I'm having a Frenchie. I love it. Absolutely. I'm going to use that. When I did smoke cigarettes, I would always smoke my French cigarettes. I have a little Frenchie, but
the little Dexton.
Not that Cruella de Vil, but no, no, but yeah. Do not smoke, kids. I quit many years ago. It was just for college and just for looks. Just for looks, right?
What was the college you went to?
Wow, what a question. I went to undergrad and did my master's at the same place. I went abroad to Scotland, to the University of St. Andrews.
St. Andrews. Oh, look at you. Okay, hey.
It was honestly the biggest accident of my life.
Wow.
I never expected to go overseas. I always, as a little teenager who got very good grades, all A's, first chair viola, in the high school, you think that's the whole world. And I thought I was going to get into, I always wanted to go to Stanford. My dad went to Stanford, and it's just your whole world when you're...
Congrats that your dad went to Stanford. And congrats that you got your master's?
I did, but I didn't get into Stanford, so I exiled myself across the pond, and I went to Scotland, and it was the best accident. It wasn't really an accident.
The best accident.
Yeah.
Explain that, because it sounds like great. It sounds great, but it sounds like something that was unexpected in between.
Well, right. I just never. I don't think most American teenagers plan to go to another country for school. It's just like we're so American, it just doesn't even cross our minds. So it's just like, yeah, I'll go to UNLV, or I'll go to California, I'll go to New York or something, you know. But yeah, I genuinely just why I say accident is because I would have never expected it as a high schooler, and yeah, it was kind of I had applied to it and didn't really think much of it after that, and then ended up going there, and it was a beautiful place. That's part of the best experience. It's so pretty there. Scotland is just green. It's a little rainy, but where St. Andrews is where golf was invented, and so if you do that math, there has to be at least some sunshine. Get outside and hit the ball around, and so it was super pretty, and really good education. Not the American system. The entire time I was there, I was just studying classes that I chose, that were part of what I wanted to study. No prerequisites. No, you know, I would have hated extra.
Was there anyone else there from America besides you?
Tons of people. There was
Tons.
So there were like I think the statistic was like the school was almost 20% American, which they were definitely trying to bring down. Just Americans like to go abroad. I guess I didn't realize it. But
wow.
I guess we are over there. So yeah, that was a really fun experience. I hadn't come out, of course. I wasn't. I always knew myself to be trans, but I never had a lot of trans examples in high school, or when I say a lot, I mean none, or in college, and it was just one of those things I had basically self-diagnosed as a young person, looking on the internet and understanding, oh yeah, that's how I feel, but just also kind of accepting for my whole younger life, high school, college, that I just probably wasn't going to do anything about it, but I do want to say that even though I didn't come out, I know a lot of trans people have a hard time with their school experiences. I definitely did have times where people called me faggot, or I was a little not masculine, and so got a little bit of that, but overall, I had a lot of good friends and a really nice experience in school, and didn't hate life. I always knew that as I looked after studies online, and I looked up sex change on Google, that it might be something in my future, but I was pretty I was very happy in high school and university without coming out yet.
So you said you always knew that you were trans. Gender, correct?
That's
okay.
Yeah.
So when was the age where you knew that there was something different about you?
Totally.
Than what society wants it to be as?
And make sure I'm speaking into the mic. My love, like I was saying, always is a funny way to put it, right? Because it's like, well, when did you really realize it?
Yes.
And it's like, it's one of those things that I can't really remember not thinking, not being conscious about, not if I had to think about gender, it was something that I immediately oh gosh, well, why don't I just answer your question? So where I really identify some real thought processes about being trans.
Like, this is who I am.
Right. I for sure.
Because it can't be, I always knew, there has to be that one moment, like, oh, I know I'm different.
I'll give you my moment.
Okay.
when I was in family vacation, I was on family vacation in the south of France when we were very young. I think I was probably 7 or 8 years old, and we were with family friends at their house in Nice. And there was a Marie Claire magazine on the counter by the pool, and I picked it up, and it was all trans women on the front, and that was it. I was like, I saw their pictures, I went straight to the article, I and drank it up. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I identify with as.
So did you identify as like, oh, I identify with woman, or do you identify as transgender, or how did they say it back then? It was like transsexuals.
Oh my gosh, I appreciate the nuance of your question, because in our community now, it can be so, it can be so, everyone trying to be a little bit, I don't even want to say politically correct, but yeah, in the 90s, when the internet literally first came on, and it was 1995, and we had AOL for the first time, and I was looking up sex change basically immediately after that vacation in France, and I very much identified as a woman, and understanding first the word transsexual, and I only later in life, started to understand that gender is indeed a spectrum, and I do see it that way now. The they-thems are such a huge part of our community. The non-binary folks are, in essence, in my opinion, probably more advanced in their acceptance of the spectrum of gender than even trans men and trans women. But I don't even think that's fair, because we're crossing the entire spectrum to be who we identify as. So everyone has their own extremely beautiful journey and understanding of their gender. And the only thing that can possibly be wrong is to tell someone that they're wrong. Yes, I do understand things can change, and people have even used that against us in the conservative community recently. Oh, they don't. It's just a fad. They change their mind back and forth. Oh, yes. They detransition, and the fact is, on medical detransitioning, the studies are very thorough and show thousands and thousands of trans people. It's a very small percent. It's in fact less than 1% that regret their transition. And so, yeah,
right.
You really.
Yes, I have been seeing that people regret transitioning, because what I believe why people are regretting their transition is because they're new on transitional. This wasn't something that was across in their mind. They seen something that became commercial, more like in a popular like circles, and then that's when they were like saying, "Oh, I want to transition. I knew I was always a woman." But then regretting like years later, or within that same year of transitioning, it's like, oh no, I shouldn't be transitioning. What was I thinking? Like, no, like, just because stuff got so popular. It's like, you like those new, like, you like the new Tesla. Let's just say that. I know you have one, but this is just an example. You see the new,
I've been called out. I do have a Tesla, but I'm getting rid of it because Elon Musk is a piece of shit.
Yeah, so, thank God your car's not in California.
Okay, why?
because people break your car and ride all over.
I've driven it in California, but yeah, I
No,
know.
but that's what I've seen.
No, I know. I've driven it recently, but yes, I know people are affected. People are mad, and they
mad at.
they rightfully should be.
They're mad at.
They
They're mad at Elon.
Mm.
Not the car, Elon.
I know. I know.
Because let
And
me
they
tell you.
take it out on the car.
Yeah, they do. So let me tell you, the Tesla cars are awesome. It's just the person that makes them.
It's
I
a
don't.
piece
I
of
don't.
shit.
Yeah. So
It's a piece of shit.
So my thoughts on like wanting that car, I don't want it no more. That's the honest.
I'm about to get a BMW.
The new ones.
All electric. It's way
I know.
way better than the Tesla. Yeah.
I seen those.
Way better than
like
the
those.
Tesla.
But it takes a lot. It takes a lot of energy out of the car though.
What do you mean? All I care about is the range. If it gets 300 miles like the Tesla, so yeah, it gets 300 miles.
Then I guess you're good.
Yeah. But yeah, I hear you. I think detransitioning is honestly such a stupid thing, even topic of conversation, because it's honestly so few people, and the fact that it's being made to seem like it's a lot of people on social media is just ridiculous. It's a few people telling their stories very loudly, and we see them.
It's so.
We see them on.
Yeah, because they wanted to transition because they're seeing it as being popular nowadays. This what people are talking about nowadays. So people jump to transition and they regret it.
I hear you. I don't believe that that's happening. I don't think people are transitioning because they see it in the world and think it's popular. I don't think that's happening. I personally.
No, but that's been going on since like 2015.
Okay, I disagree.
Okay, disagree with me. Okay. Tell me what your thoughts on that then.
I simply know the real numbers of detransitioning are that not a lot of people do it, and that this world is so fucked up for trans people that nobody is like, oh my god, being trans is so cool and so popular and so easy that I'm gonna do that. And there might be one or two. I've not seen it. I've not seen any examples of it, and I'm on social media constantly in our community.
Oh, you know what? You are right on that. That's how I can see. Yeah. Okay.
I it's the world is so hard for trans people. It's just not something that you don't transition without knowing that you are feeling really, really strongly about your identity. And of course you can still change your mind. That happens. It happens. But it happens a very, very small percent. It happens a very small percent. It's less than 1% for the medical transitioners.
Got it. So that leads me to, what are some misconceptions people have about being transgender that you like to address in the conversation?
That is a fucking good one, because people misconceive so much about us, don't they? Honestly, I was so grateful to see John Oliver's show this week. Yesterday was on trans people in sports, and
yeah, that's funny that you say that, because I seen that too.
Yeah.
And go ahead. Go ahead.
Honestly, it's just. It's such a talked about issue these days, and such a supremely misunderstood issue these days. People think it's as easy as, what Lance Armstrong said. Oh, what if Rafael Nadal, wants to be a woman? Oh, he's just gonna destroy the women's Wimbledon title and have all the titles. We know that these things aren't the things that are happening from the real numbers, from looking at individual sports, from looking at individual athletes. we know that the biggest sports body in the world, the Olympics, the International Olympic Committee, has had regulations for trans people for years, and that they've been so good, and they've been too stringent even, because some of the hormone requirements for the Olympic Committee make cis girls even test positive for too much testosterone when they're cis, and
so are you saying that it's okay for transgenders to be in in the other sex sports?
You almost talk about you almost say transgenders like a noun. As do you say it like that? Do you identify? May I ask you? Do you identify as transgender?
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Yes.
Yes, I'm a transgender person that identifies as transgender woman.
Yes, wonderful. And yeah, I do believe that trans people belong in sports. I 100%.
But a transgender woman being in a biological woman's sport, you think that's okay?
Yes.
What about transgender men being in men's sport?
Yes, that is completely okay.
So like a LeBron James going against a transgender woman is okay. Floyd Mayweather is going to box a transgender man.
Sure, there are plenty of transgender. I don't know if you're saying
Michael Phelps is going to swim against.
It sounds like you're saying that trans men don't belong in men's sports. But yes is the answer to all of those questions. Yeah, they trans men do compete against Michael Phelps. Trans men do compete in the same boxing federation as Floyd Mayweather.
I feel like
that trans men do compete in WWF, UFC.
Yeah, but I feel like there should be a separation of trans men is playing their sports just like how just like how men are and women are, because they both play the same sports. Well, trans men can play the sports too, but just trans men, and then trans women play their sports.
There's not enough trans men in the world for you're really funny. There's not enough trans women in the world to create a sports league amongst us. So it sounds like we respectfully very much disagree on this issue. Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
There's no trans women beating all the other women all the time. It just doesn't happen.
Okay. We're going to dive into love.
Oh, I don't know if I can talk about that.
No, but this is a different type of love.
Okay. I recently went through a breakup and I'm not ready to talk about it.
Okay. I'm looking at this. We can bypass this. So, how do you feel, this is not love, how do you feel the world perspective of transgenders and individuals has evolved, and where do we still need to improve?
Oh, what a huge question. We need to improve every single aspect. We're not good enough in any aspect. There's no point in society that makes this life nice or easy to be transgender in this world or society. So the amount of work is endless, and that's why I stay active in the community. That's why I stay putting on my good face, going to work, being an example of a trans person, being out in the world, doing what they love, doing work for other people regardless of their affiliation, just serving our community, LGBTQ and not LGBTQ, our wider community that we live in. Yeah, because if you're not reaching out to the wider community and you're only within your own community, you're doing yourself and both communities a massive disservice. You need to be engaged with the outside world. You need to be sharing yourself with the outside world. That's the only way we will ever be accepted into a larger society. Cis people are our allies. We have to realize that as 1% of the population or less, we will never do anything without their support. And so I see a lot of that happening, even though it's a really hard moment. The Democrats really picked it up, and they filibustered the ban on trans people in sports at the federal level, which we're so grateful for. I know you might not be happy about it, but we are.
Wait, say that again?
The Democrats filibustered the trans sports ban bill in the Senate, so it didn't pass like the Republicans wanted it to, and you wanted it to.
No, stop. It's not even that.
I'm trying to get her.
I know, but
it.
I hear you.
I'll stop biting.
You're okay.
But
you're okay.
I see it happening. So the Democrats, even though you heard a lot of people even blame trans people for the election, oh God, Elon Musk literally spent $216 million on transgender-focused ads to get Republican voters to vote for them.
Really?
Oh my God! Yes, you didn't know
that?
I
didn't know that.
That's the real number. Yeah, $200 million in anti-trans ads by Elon Musk, and so they know that transgender people are a button for conservative people, for their base, for the very religious conservative base that they trust are going to come support them, and they use us. They use us politically in that manner. Even though that's happening, I am so happy to see, even in Montana today, a bathroom bill and a oh my goodness, the clinics where they try to force you to change back from being gay or trans. I can't remember.
Yeah, you see.
Do you know what are those facilities called? Or,
I don't.
You do know.
I know what you're talking about though, but I don't.
You do know. And so today in Montana, 17 Republicans crossed the aisle to vote with Democrats and vote against a bathroom ban in Montana, and we're so grateful.
That are really Republicans?
17 Republicans. So 17 Republicans in Montana crossed the aisle today to vote against the bathroom ban in Montana, and we're so grateful for a huge influencer on social media and state senator in Montana, Zoe Zephyr, who has helped change the minds of her state senators in Montana, those Republicans, and have those Republicans understanding that we are just fucking people trying to make our way in this world, and that right now we're being used in a really manipulative, evil way by politics, by politicians, by Elon Musk, by Donald Trump. And so some people are finding their hearts. It's harder at the federal level. Those guys have real stone in their hearts and veins. But literally, I was so happy to see a Republican state legislature like Montana vote with trans people today. And so the work is happening, and I'm happy for our community, even though I'm scared at the same time. And watching these girls come out of the passport office with a male gender marker is just insane. And yeah, we've got a lot of work to do. Babe.
So do you deal with any challenges, or do you believe that we deal with challenges on like making a way? Do we deal with challenges?
Our challenges are just so many. It's just so hard. We have these next 4 years to get through, and after that, the Democrats, they don't necessarily make it easy. Gavin Newsom in California was just on just on a conservative podcast, not being great for trans people, and so it's just we've just got to keep working. We just got to keep working, and that's the hardest part. Is trans people are literally just trying to survive, and now you're asking us to work on our legislation to justify our existence in front of the body politic of the United States, when we're just a tiny little fraction, just trying to do our thing.
Tiny little fraction.
we're just sitting there trying to do our thing, and it's just like we've got so little power, we've got so little money as a community, so little money and power, and that's what drives politics. And so when you've got 200 million thrown in TV ads against you guys, against us.
So do you believe that in trans community or just transgender community that we are low in
Excuse me.
we're low in money, in like, as in trying to create different like businesses within just who we are?
I just mean that there's so few of us, we have less money than other groups of people. That's all I mean. Is that
okay.
There's so few of us.
That's
and
okay.
And if you look at again, the statistics, I just went to Creating Change, which is the largest national LGBTQ leadership conference.
Yeah, I know about that.
And they, of course, share the statistic that only of all LGBTQ IA plus funding for all charities in our space, including the center, the New Manhattan Center.
So you're very within the like nonprofit activists.
It's incredibly important.
Not teaching, but you're educating. So you're very like into that.
We're into it. We're very into it.
Because what I don't know is what you don't know, and what you don't know is what I don't know. We can learn off of each other.
Hell yeah.
So, the business side of being transgender. As a transgender person who has built a career, as a transgender person, a career or business, what unique challenges have you faced?
Yeah, in creating my business, it's been so it's been crazy to navigate the business world as a trans person. The Nevada cannabis industry is a very male dominated field.
Are you I don't know, this might be, are you the first?
I as far as I'm aware, I'm absolutely the first transgender owner-operator in the state of Nevada. Of course, there have been others.
But there's been others already?
I was just going to say, of course, there's been other trans people in the marijuana trade long before it was legal.
Oh, okay.
But no, you didn't finish the words of your question, ma'am. So what you said? Am I the first? Am I the first what? Am I the first?
Are you the first transgender to be the first transgender woman to own a cannabis company, business?
I do not actually personally own.
I know it's family owned, but like
yeah. It's my family, and I, as the operator and owner, as a family member, am the only trans person that I'm aware of in Nevada. Yeah. I don't. It's hard to keep up with other states, but you know.
But that's exciting.
It's so exciting.
That is very exciting.
I feel honored to be that. I feel it's an extremely weird position sometimes. When I first came out and I went to the owners meeting, and they're all old white men, and I was dressed as my new but always old self. I did not get a lot of good reactions. I got owners calling my father saying, MJ's showing up looking like a clown, just
A clown? You look good. You look perfectly fine.
I know I do. We're talking about assholes, and
Yes.
I'm not looking for a vindication, but thank you. We're just talking about old white men who are not used to sitting in a room with a transgender woman.
Yeah, they only see black and white.
They just they have it's not like it's just what you're used to. They have no idea how to react. They have no idea what to do, and it's just like, be normal, guys. It's all good.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Yeah, you're not hurting nobody. You're just doing your job.
And now, over the years, since those first experiences, I've become much more accepted within the industry. The owners all know who I am, and eight years after coming out, I can say that...
You know why they accept you? I'm gonna tell you why. You show up.
I do.
And you come back again and you show up just as you are.
Right. Even though they call my daddy and say,
yeah,
tell this bitch to stay away.
And you show up and you know what happens at the end of everything? They start to accept you. Because they start to realize who you are. Like, oh! Something new to them, but it's still like they are accepting you now.
Totally.
In spaces that they have never had a transgender in. And it's okay, we're just humans. We're not hurting you. Okay, we're not saying bad things. We're not stealing. We're not nothing. We're just doing legal business. That's it.
Yeah, literally. And now they know I'm good at our business, and so they all want to know our secrets.
oh, really?
No, right. It's so funny how the world works.
So, how do you create a supportive and inclusive work environment?
Oh, gosh.
Whether you're working for yourself or others.
Yeah. I work with so many others, and a supportive work environment. Gosh, you have to be careful of who you.
This next question's nice.
You have to be careful of who you let into your spaces. You can't hire people who don't have similar values. You don't want to partner with people in your personal life that don't have good values, because otherwise you're gonna run into really difficult working relationships. So I'm blessed to have a really good team around me with good managers who hire good people, and we have people who just love what they do, and we give them a really good environment. We give good pay. We give higher pay than most dispensaries. Not most. We give higher pay than all dispensaries. We give free insurance to all of our employees after 3 months, which nobody does. So all of our employees have health insurance, which is super unique for a company our size in the industry. So yeah, these are the things.
I feel like your family business is big. It's like, to me, I feel like it's big. Like, you guys got a big company.
We have almost 100 employees for two dispensaries.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, high five!
We're doing it.
Yeah, doing it out here. Love it. Love it. So, in business context,
yes.
How do you balance staying authentic to your transgender identity while striving for professional success?
You're so cute. Honestly, I don't even think I ever would think about that as a question, because I don't, in life, I am so lucky to do and be who I know I am and do what I want, which is something that most people in life, unfortunately, aren't able to do. Most people in life do what they have to, and then they can do what they want. And I'm so blessed that for my job, I get to do what I want, and for my life, I get to be who I am. an out and proud trans woman, and I just never think about, you know, you ask the question, and I guess I've never thought about how I do that, other than just, like you said, showing up over and over every day
Yes.
as my authentic self.
Yes.
And just not, just not editing for anyone, not editing because of anyone, not because of those old white men at the meeting or whatever, just coming as I know I am, which is a femme queen.
Yes. As you are.
you know, we try our best.
If you could give one piece of advice to someone who is struggling with their transgender identity or purpose, especially.
Or purpose, yes.
Yeah, purpose, I mean.
Of course.
Purpose.
Of course.
Purpose. Whoa, I can read. I don't know why I said that. Yes.
No, I was just understanding. I don't mean to. Yes, I'm just understanding that it's so hard to know our purpose in this world, and the best answer is, I would say, you can't. And so I know a lot of people are like, fuck that, I know my purpose and whatever, and that's because they've chosen their purpose, or they've found something that by luck or by universe, by God, that they're really good at, and really delved into, practiced, because
Yes.
that's all that ever is going to give you purpose, because in the end, you're going to be giving you the purpose.
Right.
Nobody else is. So if it's swimming, if it's selling all the weed in the world, like whatever it is, you have to internalize it. You have to know it. You have to truly believe it in and of yourself. Because this universe is so there's so much in it. You know, I believe that there's if you you know, now I've caught myself. Now you've caught me in a philosophical question, and that I'm sure, of course, that there's so many things people will try and practice and not be good at and get frustrated, or you asked if people struggling in their transition, you know, they can get frustrated, and all of these frustrations, we just have to allow ourselves to understand that the universe is so crazy, is so much, that we just have to find our own peace within it. However we do that, just try and failure is literally the only way humans can ever do that. The earliest evolutionary trait of people is trying and failing. They say that the scowl is one of the most easy things in a human emotional facial context, because we would try a berry in nature and it would be poison, and we'd have to quickly spit it out, and we'd understand that was poison and was not good for us, and then we'd eat the yummy berry and that it was good, and we smile, but there was a lot more shit that we would have to pick up and through trial and error. So for people struggling with their purpose, there's a lot of trial and error, and your ancestors did a lot of it. You don't have to try the berries, but you do have to try the job at the pizza parlor or the job at the dispensary and feel which one makes you happier. You do have to struggle, and that's the only life, like, if that's one of the biggest lessons in life, right? Because it's always going to be a struggle, and it's just how you deal with it.
Yeah. You struggle, and then you overcome it later.
Period, mama. Period.
Yes. So, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your answers. Learn something. What I don't know is what you don't know. What you don't know is what I don't know. And maybe the viewers can take something out of this and change their life, maybe, hopefully.
Hopefully, just at least a little entertainment or thought thought processing.
Yes. Thank you, MJ.
Thank you so much, Frenchie. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate you. I appreciate your heart, and thank you again.
You guys don't take what I have said like too harsh. I'm not here to hurt anybody. I'm here to come with peace and come with the community with love and peace.
And I want to say that I'm not here to bite or to be overly on one side or anything. We just know what we know, and we are speaking with our hearts, and I thank you again, my love.
Oh, you're so welcome, and thank you. Well, you guys, this is the end right here. Thank you for pulling up a chair, grabbing a tea, a glass, your poison, whatever, and tuning into this episode of the Pure Genuine Podcast, where we dive into authentic experiences like never before. I'm your host, Frenchie Hanna, and I have MJ right here. Yes. And I will see you guys on the next episode very, very soon. Bye.